God, I ask you to touch our country, touch our leaders. Thank you for those, God, that are turning toward you or even talking about it. God, and they're not perfect. God, they make mistakes and do stupid things, and I understand that, God. But Lord, at least there's somebody reminding America that we do have a God that watches over us. And we believe in you with all our heart. So God, I ask you to help in that. God, all the ones that preaching tonight, Father, you know what's needed in their case. Lord, you know exactly what they need and how to deliver it. So God, we just ask for grace and mercy for each one of those, even the unspoken, especially when it comes to the little children, God. We love the little children, God, and I know we are to you, but just little children of yours. But God, when we see the society that has gotten where it doesn't even have a heart for little children anymore, God, it seems that if just to do terrible things to them and wrong things, God, is the norm today. Now, God, reading an article today about how many children were being aborted every day in this country. God, and the millions and millions that was allowed to be killed. God, in 73. God, I just ask you, Lord, that you reach your hand into that and make a change. Lord, I'd love to see us live in a country where killing young babies is a crime. God, I didn't ever think we'd ever get to where murder wasn't a crime. God, I just ask you to help us, God. Lord, we want to be your people. We want this to be your country surrendered to you. So, Lord, help us do that. But not only our country. God, let us bring it down to an individual basis, God. And remember, it starts with one person at a time. And there's not any good that we could do that wouldn't matter. It would always matter. You would always make sure that good matters. And you'll multiply the good that we do, God, if we'll surrender ourselves to do it. So, Lord, we want to do that as individuals and as a church, God. Lord, we want to be a church that this community knows we're here. God, and one with an open door and an outreach hand. God, for those that are in need. Father, always willing to help them and not judge them and do the best we can do to help them, God, up on their feet and back into the mainstream of life, God. And Lord, not living out in the weeds and living on from one goat to the next and the children in their homes and the hell they have to go through every day, God. Lord, I just ask you to deliver, God, in that situation. Help us be a part of it. Let us see folks saved. Let us see our church grow, come together, and be strengthened, and be mighty soldiers for you, God. And we'll just praise you for that you do in Christ's name. Amen. All right, let's go back to chapter 8. We're going to go back to, I don't know, verse about, let's see where we ended up. And let's see. Go to verse 28. Kind of where my head starts. Verse 28. Chapter 8. Verse 28. This is a very familiar scripture to all of us, and we cling to it, and we should. But we have to remember this is a promise with conditions. There's conditions to this promise. And I know tonight, God, I know there's folks that ain't darkened the door of a church house in 20 years that cling to this verse, don't show any form that they got any kind of relationship with Christ. Though you ask them, yes, they claim to be saved, but they have no works to go with. They have no surrender, no commitment, no nothing. They just simply say they're saved. But they always want to claim this verse. And I want to remind us that this verse comes with a condition to it. God help us now. Chapter 8 and verse 28. The Bible says, and we know that all things work together for the good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose in these things. So we know that all things work together for good but only if certain conditions are met. Remember that. Remind ourselves of that, and be willing to share with somebody. I'm not talking about in a mean or vindictive or angry way, but remind them, especially if it's someone that you can talk to about spiritual things that's not committed to God, that doesn't show any fruit of the Spirit in their life, and show where there's a commitment to God and a walking with Him and a surrender to Him, that this is a promise, but it's a promise that comes with conditions. First condition, to them who love God. Again, you love God? Oh yeah. Have you darkened the door of the church house? You don't even know how many years. But do you love God? Oh yes, I love God. If someone loves God. Now, I can tell Becky. I say Becky. Wes told me that it's going to be a few years before he comes back to the house. But he loves you. And huh? I'm going to tell Jay, yeah, now Jay, you know Jesse, but she loves you. But she's not going to leave you for a while. She's running around with the world out there. You know, don't know exactly where she's at. She's out there somewhere. But she loves you. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But yet we say that we love God. And then we don't do anything for Him, don't even go speak to Him, don't go to His house, don't honor Him in any way in our life at all. But yet we profess to love Him. I know God must look at us and say, you can't love me and not come to me, not have a relationship with me. You can't love me. But we all claim, like I said, we get bored and jump right on this verse. Like, oh, that's mine right there. That ain't prayed in here. Unless somebody died or got real sick, and then they was all kind of prayer warriors. But before that, they hadn't prayed no, they didn't know how long. But let something drastic happen, oh, it's going to work out for the good. That's no promise to you. That's the promise He said to those that love Him. That love Him. That's condition number one. And then to them who are the called according to His purpose. So this means it's His purpose and not ours. Not our purpose. His purpose that's called according to His purpose, which is the second condition. Otherwise, all things will not work together for our good. The called according to His purpose. For a call of God to mean anything at all, there has to be two parties in it. There has to be God that calls, and the one that's called responding to make a call work. I go out and call on the porch all day long, but if the one I'm calling can't hear me, or don't hear me, or won't come when I call, just a one-sided deal there. So, if there's a call on your life for it actually to be a call that you have anything to do with, you got to do the other side of it. You got to, and I want you to think about this, because this blends right in with this explanation here. The call according to His purpose. We've all been called. We've all been called. And He has a purpose. And there's so many people that pretend like they're serving God, but they say like, well, I'm going to serve God, but I don't know what He wants me to do. What, do you think God's keeping it a secret? You think God got your plan all wrote down? Oh, and boy, she really wants to do what I called her to do, but I'm going to hide it from her for a while. No, Lord, no. If He's called you, He'll share with you right now the beginning of His call. He'll show me the whole thing? No. He'll show you the baby steps. He'll show you the baby steps. He'll show you, hey, if you're going to take part in my call, we need to strike up a relationship with each other. Just saying, you know, we need to kind of get on a first name basis with each other. Maybe a little time in prayer, a little time in Bible study. Before you start, I know people, I can pick on this because I am one. A preacher, I know preachers, or people that claim to be preachers, that don't preach. That don't work. The only people that are preachers are people that preach. The other people are preachers. Preachers preach. Preachers preach. I may be just as wrong as I can be, but I just don't think so. I say this all the time. If for some reason I had to leave here, this was my last sermon, I'd be running around like a chicken with my head cut off between now and Sunday to get me a place to preach. And if I didn't have one by Sunday, to get us to stop sign preaching. You could, hey, Brother Jimmy, got a church yet? No, I got one yet. So you'd have to pass right by me every time. I imagine that's the way it's been ever since I felt like God had called me to preach. I preached every weekend since then, unless I was in a hot weather city or on vacation like I was a couple weeks ago. Other than that, I preached every weekend for the last 21 years. Here, and actually almost for 30 years since my initial surrender to the call. Every Sunday somewhere. And if I didn't, I get all antsy. I would be worried. So them that are called according to His purpose. And like I said, for a call to actually manifest itself or materialize, there has to be two sides to the calling. One calling and one answering. Has to be. Or it's not a calling. Verse 29 it says, for whom He, God, did foreknow, God's foreknowledge. This is a good verse to pay attention to right here because it's one that's hijacked by the hyper-Calvinists and the Calvinist doctrine. Now this is the one they hijack right here and try to make doctrine on as far as predestination. It's one that's good to pay attention to. Beginning the verse again. For whom He, God, did foreknow, God's foreknowledge, He also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of His Son. Listen to this. It is never the person that is predestinated, but rather the plan. It's not the person, it's the plan. God's plan is for all that He called and did foreknow, He has predestined us to be conformed to the image of His Son. That's what we're predestined to. We're not predestined to salvation, whether we like it or not. We don't believe in Calvinism, like I said, Calvinism, predestination, believes in the people that can't get saved, can't get saved. And the ones that can, and that was already decided, and really man ain't got no free will in it at all. That's predestination. We don't believe in predestination. But God's not talking about predestined to be saved. He's talking about predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son. And they say, and listen, well, that's salvation. No, it ain't. Salvation is instantaneous. It's not a conformity. Conformity is when you begin to surrender more and more and more, so you know what the job is. At the end of the thing, it's supposed to be a lifetime of you being conformed to the image of his Son, that you let the potter do with the clay as he wishes to do. Predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son. So not the person predestined, but the plan is predestined to take place. To be conformed to the image of his Son. That he, Jesus, might be the firstborn among many brethren. Does not mean that Jesus was born again as a sinner. There is people in a very well established, very money-making machine that believes or preaches that Jesus had to be born again, like we do. He never sinned. There would be no point in him being born again. And if he'd had to have been born again, whose blood would have covered him? He couldn't have been born again. There was no born again until Calvary took place and the blood was shed, and he's the one who shed the blood. And his blood had to be a perfect blood or it wouldn't cover us. So, but there is a, like I said, a multi-trillion-dollar denomination that believes that he had to be born again. Born again. Jesus, God, had to take part of the plan of salvation like we do. That's ridiculous. That's the silliest thing. But man can do some of the silliest things with the Word of God that I can even imagine. I can't even imagine how they come up with that, but they do, and they sell it to the masses. The people that don't want to read the Bible for themselves, they just want to take the word of whatever they hear and say, well, if that man said it, then it must be true. And that's just not true. And I think it's a good idea when you listen to me preach, you mark down them verses that I preached on. When you get to the house, you get your Bible, your commentary, and your prayer time with God, and you seek his face, and you preach, or you read that what I preach, and see, don't you come up with the same conclusion that I did. And if you don't, then we need to talk. We need to get on the right page. Because if I'm not preaching about it, you don't think I am, then I'm not doing my job. And if you're not doing the checkup, and you're not doing yours. Because I don't mind you checking every scripture I preach. Because what I preach is what I feel God has led me to believe. And I believe it's not my interpretation. I believe it's God's interpretation of that scripture. So it doesn't mean that Jesus was born again as a sinner, but rather that he is the father of the salvation plan, having paid the price on the cross, which made it possible for him to be the first fruit of the plan of salvation. He is the plan of salvation. Jesus and Calvary, that's the gospel. That's the whole plan that we believe in. What he did for us at Calvary, that's the plan of salvation. So that's not what they talk about could be true at all. But he died. He was the first fruit that rose from the dead, was resurrected, as we will be resurrected. He was the first one, and he's the one that made it possible. Verse 30 says, moreover, whom he, God, did predestinate, once again, to be conformed to the image of his Son, them he also called. Without that call, man could not be saved. Sadly, many refuse that call. But without God's part in it, again, the plan of salvation can't work. It can't be. There is no plan of salvation that takes place when a preacher and a person that come to him and said, preacher, I want to be saved, and would you pray with me or pray for me so I know I'm saved, and I get up here and know I'm saved? Well, it's not a plan of salvation like that. The plan of salvation has to involve Jesus Christ and the person that's being saved, and him calling them to himself. There has to be a Holy Spirit conviction. There has to be a time when you when they, whoever they may be, there has to be a time that they themselves, that they had to come to the full realization of saying, I'm guilty. I'm a sinner. I need to be saved. And that's God calling me. And I need to go. I sat and watched many of those that came Sunday morning. And they sweating it. I mean, they sweating it. You know, and I feel like, boy, if I could, I'd come back there and grab you and just drag you down here. But I can't. And invitation is about to end. And I'm down to the last verse, you know, and I'm going like, oh, God, please. I can see the pain on their face. I can see the tears in their eyes. I can see the white in their knuckles when they're hanging on to the pew. I can see, oh, please, God, let them come. And then he turns with the pew. She turns with the pew. They turn with the pew and here they come. Oh, glory to God. Praise the Lord. But I've done all I can do, though. There has to be a part with the invitation that my part's over now. My part's through. And now it's between them and God. Them and God. And I thank God for his drawing, his calling. But without the call, there is no salvation. So whom he did predestinate, then he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. Those who responded faithfully to the call. He answered, because nobody answers the call of God and calls back, and he won't answer back. He said, if you'll ask, I'll answer. If you'll call on whosoever shall call on my name. He said, if they'll call, I'll answer. So when he called, it's time for you to call. And he'll answer. He'll answer. There's no question about it. He's not going to turn it down. He didn't write this book so he could play tricks on us. He didn't write this book to confuse us. He wrote this book that said, this is how salvation is. If I call, and you come, and you call, I'll answer. There's not no plan B. There's not another way. Well, there's not a what if. There's no what if, but there's no but in it. If I call, and you answer, and call for me, I'll answer you. That's it. That's it. Whom he called, them he justified. The plan's about to be completed because once he accepts your call and he answers, then he justifies you as if you never sinned. So the word justified meaning, in layman's term, the word justify man in God's eyes, once I've accepted what he did at Calvary and I've called on him, admitting myself to be a sinner, believing in him to be able to save me, once I've done that, he does it and I'm justified. So in God's eyes, it's just as if I've never sinned at all. So I want you to know, when you walk down here a sinner, you left a saint, every one of us that came a sinner, calling on him, believing in him, repenting, understanding that we were making a life change. It's not a game. It's not a, well, if somebody will keep pounding on me enough, I'll give in and go. Don't you let nobody pound you into coming. Because if the Holy Spirit can't pound you into coming, you better stay where you're at, because you're just wasting a few steps to the altar. It's all you've done. But God, he said, if you'll come and I forgive you, when you walk off from here, in my eyes, you are a person as if you had never sinned at all. You can't get up from here saved, walk to that first pew over there, and say, God, yeah, but remember when I failed over here? And he goes, no, I don't remember that. And you're going to say, wait a minute now, Lord, I just talked to you about it down there. He said, no, I justified you. Just as if you never sinned at all now. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even have a record of it. Now, you could insist about it if you want to, but I can't recall it. Thank you, God. So you mean every sin I committed before I came down here? And no record of it? No record of it, no record. The only one that can even get beat up about it is you now. And you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to take your failings of yesterday and let them control your tomorrow. You're a brand new creature in Christ. What's that girl's name, Ted? What? Miranda. Miranda come with Ted to church Sunday with her sins, left here without her sins, forgiven, thank you for the gospel. So listen, and Ted said, "Oh, well, wait a minute, Miranda, I want to talk to you about that boyfriend you used to have a couple years ago." You know, they're like Jesus. You say, "What? What are you talking about, man?" Me and the Lord both forgot it. Ted goes like, "Wait a minute, I think there's a record of it." You say, "Okay, there you go. Find it. Go get the record, we'll talk about it. But if you can't get a record, don't bring it up again." Well, there ain't no record, so brand new girl. Praise the Lord. That's a good place to be. Amen, amen. Hey, I wouldn't mind walking out the door with a girl that just been saved. Praise God. Man, could start all over again. Like God gives you a second chance, He gives her a second chance. Wow, what a God. Amen? Oh, man. Amen. Hey, a lot of times I wish I could get saved again. Amen? Just that feeling that I got today. The Lord lifted that burden off of me. That sin burden. That I thank God I can't, because then that would mean you could get saved and lost. Thank God I couldn't do that, because I would never know which one I was. The bigger mess as I make out of everything, I'd sure enough down on them lost days, I'd go straight to hell. I'm telling you, that's just the way it would happen with me. It'd be on one of my lost days. It'd be on one of the days that somebody pulled out in front of me at the stop sign, and I said hey to them, like that. Something, it'd be one of them bad days. There I'd be going straight to hell, done preached the gospel for 21 years. And they say, "Well, Lord said, hey, it was a bad day for you." Well, it was a bad day. Lord, can't you do something with it? You know? But what a God we have that is willing to justify, and He'll take the worst of the worst. I'm talking about a banana peel of a guy. I'm talking about a brown banana peel of a guy. I'm talking about a new doozy. I mean, and save them just like He did a preacher's kid. And just as willing to do so as He was one that had grown up in the preacher's house. And just as willing to save them. And save them just as completely as the preacher's kid is. And can make them usable that day. In the ministry. You ever take that stuff and tie it up? You may not, I know, you may not be able to minister here in that situation because God forgets stuff that us people, we try not to. We try to hold on to every failure you ever had. So in case we need it somewhere down the road. So we try to hold on to all of it. So you may not, yes, because of your past, may not be able to minister right here. Oh, but God, He's got a place over here that people like you are gathered up thinking they got to go to hell. You can go over there and tell them, I was one of you, and I'm going to heaven, and you can go too. So God can take even the worst rascal and make something out of it. You're talking about a real sure enough, I'm talking about locked in a dungeon, dark and dreary, and yeah, He can take one of those guys. I don't know how He does it, but I thank God He does, because He's done it with me. And He can take one of those guys and reach more people than you'll ever reach. How? He can put them in the right place, at the right time, with the right group, and touch their heart like nobody else could, and they could be a vessel of honor unto Him. Man, there ain't no limit to what God can do with somebody. There's a way their life's too wrecked, He can't do it. Ain't nobody wrecked that bad yet. If they still walking, still breathing, and you ain't got to be walking. They can be wheelchair bound. They can be running a wheelchair with just a mouth and win more people than you can. Look at Jamie Coulter. What if he'd gave up? Hey, I just thank God for somebody like that, like Jamie. That goes, me, I'd be sitting at the house waiting somebody to come wait on me, squalling all the time, would be a good for nothing. And he lets them drag him all over the country, little leg, what, leg maybe 8 inches long? He's my age. For those of you that don't know him, he's a skateboard preacher. He comes, we put up a table up there and he's on a little skateboard. I think he's 23 inches tall. He's my age, and I'm going to put him 60 here pretty quick. Been preaching for 30 years. Don't know how many souls he's going to say. His mama told him around for the first 15 years. That every meeting that he had to go to, here comes his mama told him. Like I said, his legs ain't much longer than a little baby cowboy boots that he wears. He wears children's cowboy boots. And his legs ain't just bad long enough to reach out the tops of those cowboy boots. And he can play a guitar that he can ride and work on. It's so big. And play a guitar and sing like a bird and see people sing. And you know, most of the world and even most of the church done wrote him off. Oh, he ain't gonna make nothing. And if he did, we wouldn't want him to come to our church because we don't like people like that, you know. Feel uncomfortable around them. You need to let God get over your heart. And I'm gonna tell you, if you got that kind of attitude, you always get that power of God, you really need to let God tie some of your nuts and bolts up. You about to fall apart. Don't run nothing because if you do, you're like arm drop off here, leg there, ear here, head there, and there you go, diving across the parking line, up your body. The rest of you laying out there, don't tell apart because you ain't walking with God like that, I can tell you. So, moreover, David called him justified, or those who respond by faith to the call. And it said, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. Now, glorified to an extent, that's just a little downplaying. We ain't seen the glory that he's got in mind when he gets us the full glorified body. Shall glorify at the resurrection. Justification guarantees it will be done. If he justified you, he owes you a glorified. And you're going to have some glorifying going on when he resurrects the saints. Verse 31, I'll go a little bit, I got about 7 minutes. Verse 31, what shall we say then? What shall we then say to these things? And refers to the suffering that we're presently enduring, verse 17, 18, is comparison. When you compare it to the glory, it's not. Regardless of what you're having to go through in this life, you say, okay, give me all the suffering you can muster up, that you wrote down, that you remember, all the suffering that you claim that you've done for God. Put it in a box. Okay? And you say, I'm talking about you really suffered. So your box, big as this church house, which I don't think any of us have suffered that big. Unless every piece of suffering we had was a transfer from. But so your suffering fills this whole building up. You know why? God's suffering. Many times will erase that and just drive over the top of it. It'd be like a little pack in the top. But compared to his glory, if your suffering was this church box, then his box would be a mountain. And on and on and on and on. The world compared to your box, which is going to be that's what he said in comparison to the glory. Can't compare it to it. Won't work. If God be for us, who could be against us? What thought? I got it bad, Brother Jimmy. Got a lot of people against me. Yeah, but you got God for you. Oh, well, that knocks all that out. I got a lot against me. You got a lot for you. If you compare God against what you got against you, you can't see it. You can't find it. Because God's for you. Well, I know He's got this and this and this and this against you. Hey, I feel sorry for him. But heaven sees. How sorry can you feel for him since he belongs to heaven? He owns the deed. To heaven. So I can't feel too sorry for him. If God be for us, who can be against us? Or who can be against us that will really matter? It don't really matter. That's the only trick. The devil ain't got but a few tricks. And one of the main tricks he's got in as far as Christians and keeping us down or keeping Christians down is you thinking that it matters what people think. Now, I've preached before that it does matter in ministry. I understand that people have to be acceptable to you. You can't just be a terrible person and win people's kingdom. I understand that. But in the big scheme of things, don't go tell God that God, my life is so miserable. This guy don't like me. God said, that's it. That's really all I got. Jack is really bothering me. God's going to come on. That's all you got. Somebody don't like you. I can't even keep, I used to keep a list of people that didn't like me. I don't even do that when I ran out of books. Wrote down all the clean paper I had. I covered all this. Right, trying to keep up with who didn't like me. Well, after that was the first year of ministry. 30 years, I don't know how many they are now. Probably a few more than there was then. Right? Can't do nothing about it. I can't do anything about it. Sure can't go back and undo things. But he said, who can have anything against you? He who spared not his own son, are concerned with the great gift of God, the Lord Jesus Christ, but delivered him up for us all at the cross. How shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Gives us all things, so we can have all things that pertain to life and godliness, which Jesus paid for at the cross, providing our faith is ever in Christ and what he did there. That's what we can have. It all belongs to God. When life starts to get you down, and don't get me wrong, life does get us down. Life gets me down. Life gets everything. There's no need to say that, well, you're unchristian if life don't get you down. No, you're just unaware if life will get you down some, because there's a lot of negative stuff goes on out here. And a lot of it we bring on ourselves, I understand that. But life does get you down. But put you a mark and don't go no lower than that. I mean, you can go down the poor meat pole, pretty good way, but put you a mark on it and say, as far as I'm going down the poor pitiful little meat pole, because I got it marked off right here and everything below that belongs to God. So I ain't going no further down than that, because he's mine and I'm his. And heaven's mine. And I'm his child. So just like I said, mark you off a place there on the pole. If you want to get on the pity pole there for a while, ride on it, whatever. But don't sink too low on it. Don't sink too low on it. Never, I don't know where that mark is below the mark that I got marked on mine that I don't go below. But somewhere down there, apparently, there's a mark on there that says, well, if things don't get better, I'm going to quit on God. My Lord. Where is that written on your little pole at? If things don't get better, or if them people don't start treating me better in church, or she looks like me, at me like that one more time, I am going back. Where is that mark at on your pole, for God's sake? Those people sitting at home right now because one of y'all looked at them wrong. You have one eyebrow up, one eyebrow down. They know what you're thinking. Oh, God. And probably couldn't even come close to what you were really thinking. You know, if you were right with God, you were looking at them like, wonder if I can do anything for her. Wonder if she needs anything. Wonder if I can help her. But she's got this idea that you was thinking all these bad thoughts. And the devil comes running up there and says, yeah, that's right. That's what you was thinking. That's what you think. You know you were. That's not true. That's not true. Let me finish this verse and we'll close. Who spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also free to give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God who justifies. It's God that justifies. Don't need you. Don't need your permission to justify anybody. God don't need your permission to save anybody or protect anybody or to bless anybody. They belong to God. It's God who justifies. It's Him. If you got a beef with that, go talk to God. Don't have a problem with that person. Go talk to the Lord about it. He'll tell you exactly what to do. He'll tell you exactly what to do. Who is it you got offense? Who is it that you've got an issue with in your life? Who is that? You already named them. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So, how come is it you haven't settled that already? I mean, unless it's gone on less than 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever. How come you haven't settled that already? You as a child of God don't have a right to carry or harbor any bad feelings towards anybody. As a child of God, you'll rob yourself of blessing. God can't bless you like that. So if it's gone on any longer than 8 hours, you're being a disobedient, rebellious child of God. Why haven't you done taken care of that? If there's anything between you and anybody, you take care of that. Why? Because it's a hindrance in your relationship with God, and it's a hindrance for this church seeing people saved, and it's a hindrance in their life as well. So, a lot of different reasons. But the main reason is you ask God, God, will you take my life? He said, I will. Well, then if you gave it to Him, you're supposed to let Him run it. Father, as we close, God, we love you. We thank you, God, for loving us. We thank you for your great promises. Lord, that we were called according to your purpose, and all things will work together. If we love you, prove we love you. By God, staying surrendered to the commitments we've made to you, God. Lord, this is a church that you gave us. God, that you bless. Father, these are homes and lives, God, that you bless. These folks are the people, God, you brought together to build a church with. God, we all made commitments to you. Lord, let us keep those commitments. Let it matter to us, God. And when those things matter to us, then you can bless, not only individually, but corporately as a church. God, and you can use us mightily. So God, we ask you to do that. Bless these folks and bless the message tonight. Lord, bless those that are lost, God, that they'd be saved. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.